Greetings in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, Melech of Yasharal, Kohen forever, according to the order of Melchizedek. All esteem, honor, and glory unto our Alua, Yahuwah. My name is Melek Shalomoh. This is MELEK SHELOMOH Trading, and I'm going to do a little trade setup here for March 25th, 2025. So let me just pull this up real quick. And let me just read this off.
General disclosure. All MELEK SHELOMOH Trading LLC materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure. General disclosure. All MELEK SHELOMOH Trading LLC materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations.
I'll read it myself.
Risk disclosure.
General disclosure.
Trading futures,
equities,
and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
Risk disclosure. Trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right. You have been warned. All right, so let's see here. Looking at Bookmap, looking at the heat map here, we have some liquidity up here just above floor pivot R1. Doing some research, back testing, using OpenChat GPT. We have a 70% chance of hitting R1 in the RTH session, and this goes back 6 months. So I'm using a 6-month period to evaluate these percentages. You could check it out for yourself. You could use ChatGPT and try and find out these percentages and probabilities, right? So we have liquidity here up at 58.50. Right after that, we don't have much liquidity in the book, so I'm gonna switch over here to my Trader Map Pro where I have the settings set at, let me just show you the settings. Right, we go to Trader Map Pro. Right, that's my big liquidity settings. Keep orders 100 or more. And this cap is something like 1 billion or something like that. So the sensitivity for the bot remover is almost at max. Usually I put that at max, but I don't know why it pulled back a little bit there, but usually it's on max, right? So Trader Map Pro is showing liquidity as well at around 58.60, or let's see, the heaviest liquidity is at around, let's see here, 58.47.50. Yeah, so around there, 58.47.50. And after that, we don't see any liquidity above, right? So that's telling. So I'm thinking here, all right, we have liquidity here at 60.50. Will we get up to 60.50 today, go 200 points? I don't think so. But who knows? We have another liquidity that was pulled here and added back at 58.69. That's possible. So we have a big liquidity that was pulled off the book here as well.
Gold stock run by at $3,028.03, more than 125 contracts.
Target as a probability, we'll probably get up to maybe 58.70. to grab that liquidity. This liquidity down here is pretty far away, 57.50, right? So who knows? We're just gonna look at the price action and the order flow to see where we're going. But just as a note, there isn't much liquidity to target above, right? So coming back here on a closer view on the big screen. So we have Camarilla R4 at 58.6250 roughly. So if we do break out above R1 and we tap this liquidity here, we could probably get to, this is also floor pivot, the weekly R3. So we're way up there on the floor pivot levels on the weekly. And let's see if we could get to Camarilla R4 if the breakout continues. Now, if distribution starts taking place, so these are indications I look at for distribution and absorption, right? So we have liquidity interacting. No liquidity is pulling off the book as price goes up. So these guys are getting filled all the way, getting filled, right? So to me, this is like the buying power is getting absorbed. More buying power has to keep pushing up to take on this liquidity, right? So we have heavy liquidity at 58.35, 58.37, and around just above Camarilla R3 at 58.40. So resistance from the liquidity. Let's see what the bulls are made of. Let's see if they can push through these and get to Camarilla R3. It's looking like we're going to break overnight high, probably tap Camarilla R3. So this is a setup for me here. It's a possible black sun strategy, but I have to be cautious because it's a lower probability given the recent trend has changed into a bullish nature, right? So if I'm looking to take a short, I got to be cautious, right? So looking for a potential distribution starting to manifest here. We could have a possible preliminary supply buying climax. We have the automatic reaction. Then we push up here to make the uptrust, right? So let me just map that out with the arrows. Preliminary supply shows the pullback. Buying climax. Volume came in there for the buying climax, creating the automatic reaction, pulling back to yesterday's high. Create an uptrust up to Camarilla R3, and then we could get a short back down to probably yesterday's high, 58.39 to 58.25, right? So let's see if that's going to play out. That's my first initial setup right there. So let's see how that's going to play out in the next 15 minutes. So it's going to be an early trade because usually I don't take like open range breakouts and stuff like that. So, or open range phase or something like that, because it's just not enough information, right? But I have some information from the ETH here showing some absorption, right? Liquidity is not pulling off the book. We're creating somewhat of a distribution structure. We could have a potential uptrust up to Camarilla R3, which is a significant resistance level. And let's see if that's going to play out. All right, so that's my little trade setup here for the open. If we go bullish, then from a Camarilla perspective, we hold above Camarilla R3, we tap R1, right? Even at R1, the setup could be there as well, right? For the uptrust. If we get to R1, we start feeling, you see liquidity is pulling here, so that's a bad sign. That's showing, well, not a bad sign, that's showing that bulls could actually push through this level. But let's see what plays out. So looking for a distribution around these levels. If bulls fail around these levels, Camarilla R3, floor pivot R1. If they do push up, hold above Camarilla R3, then we could look to take long from Camarilla R3 to Camarilla R4, which is around 58.40 to 58.6250, right? So that's the trade setups there, bullish and bearish. All right, y'all, it's MELEK Shelomoh. Y'all trade safe and shalom.